Hi, everyone. Welcome to Yoga with Taslim. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully our time together will be productive for you. So we're going to start on the mat. If you do have any injuries, then I provide some cues for a chair, but this class isn't chair yoga, so just do what you can. So be careful with yourself and have fun. So starting on your mat, take a nice tall seat, reaching up through the crown of your head. Allow your spine to elongate, so be nice and long, and start to settle your breath and bring your attention into this room. If you are on a chair, then I'll just demo the position that you want. So sitting nice and tall, reaching up through the crown of your head, allow your feet to be flat, and then let your shoulders be nice and relaxed. So all these warm-ups you'll be able to do from a chair. So just follow along. From your seat, start to settle your breath. And I'll open with a quote from Prophet Muhammad. "Happy is the man who avoids conflict, but how fine is the man who is afflicted and shows endurance." This idea of endurance is something I want you to acknowledge in yourself during these difficult times. And I don't just mean physical, but also emotional and mental as well. Bring your hands to your lap and clasp your hands. Inhale and bring your hands up through the center line of your body. As you exhale, flip your palms and push down, almost like you're pushing through water. Inhale, bringing your hands up the center line of your body. And exhale, pushing down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, up, and exhale, pushing down. Unclasp your hands and inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Clasp your hands and exhale, pulling down the center line of your body. Let's do that two more times. Inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead, clasping your hands, and exhale, pushing through. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, and exhale, pushing through. Bring your hands to your knees and take some gentle neck circles. So moving your head in a nice gentle circle in one direction, being careful here not to strain. We're just finding some looseness, some flexibility. Take one more circle. Remember to breathe through all of this. That is the key in this practice. That is the key to building your endurance. We'll meet back in neutral and take it round the other direction. Nice and easy. One more circle in this direction. And from here, extending your right arm out in front of you and moving it over towards the left side. Use your left hand and gently push on the arm, not a strain, just a gentle nudge to find a nice opening and stretch in your shoulder. One more breath here. And then release that right arm and now lift it up high to the sky and bend at the elbow. Using your left hand, gently push back on your elbow. So finding a nice tricep stretch. And just breathe here. You have the option to now take your left hand and bring it back behind your body in a bind. So here, if you can bring your fingertips to touch, no pressure, just do what works for your body. And then release the right, release the left, give your shoulders a little shake. Now do the same on the left. So we'll extend the left over to the right side, using the right hand to gently push on the arm. From here, rising up, lifting the left arm and bending at the elbow. Take your right hand and gently push back, finding a nice tricep stretch. If you're on your chair, you can do this too. And if you want, you have the option to take the bind. So bringing the right hand back behind you and bringing the fingertips to touch. You may have the space today. You may not another day. The body always finds space in different ways on a different day, at different times. And then unclasp and give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. We're going to move into Sufi grinds here. So bringing your body forward and over your legs as you exhale. Inhale, contracting your abs and taking a big circle around the back. Exhale over your legs and inhale to take it back. This is really good to start to lubricate the spine. Take one more in this direction, and then we'll take the Sufi grinds in the other direction. So exhaling over your legs and inhaling back. The Sufis were a group of mystics, and they found a meditative state by twirling or whirling. These are the whirling dervishes you may have heard of. One more big circle, and then we'll meet back in neutral. From here, we'll be moving into cat-cows. So you're going to want to come into a tabletop position. So for that, moving your legs out from under you. You can stack your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, or they can be slightly behind your hips, depending on what is comfortable for you. Here, as you exhale, tuck your belly up, up, up to the sky, arching up through the back. And as you inhale, soften through the belly and reach your chest forward and up and your hips back and up. Again, exhale, tucking your belly in and up. Inhale, softening through the belly, chest forward and up, hips back and up. Keep doing that motion, and I'll give some cues for those in a chair. If you are seated, place your hands on your knees, and as you exhale, arch back, and as you inhale, relax and send your chest forward and up. So you can still do this. The idea is to lubricate the spine and start to warm up. So again, exhale, and then inhale, softening, sending the chest forward and up. We'll do one more cat-cow here. So exhale, tucking your belly in and up. And then inhale to soften. And then find yourself back in neutral pose. From neutral, replant your palms and really activate your fingers so that you have that connection with the mat. Make sure your toes are tucked under you. And then start to contract through the core and lift your hips up to the sky. This is the down dog position. You can walk your legs out. So start to find some movement. It's okay if your heels don't touch the floor. If you need to, take a deep bend in your knees. This is good for building flexibility in your hamstrings, but we're all at different levels. So do what works for you. For those of you who are on a chair, you can take the down dog position using a chair as an aid. The rest of you, 2 more breaths in down dog. So for that, stepping 1 meter away from the chair and folding over. You'll still find the release in your shoulders and in your hamstrings. All right, last breath here in down dog. Take a deep bend in your knees, come up onto your tiptoes, step 1 foot forward and then the other, and you'll find yourself in a forward fold. From here, allow your arms to hang loose. Allow your neck and head to hang heavy. You can shake your head no, you can nod your head yes. And then on your next inhale, ragdoll your body up. So 1 vertebra at a time, allowing your neck and your head to be the very last thing to rise, just to protect them. We're going to continue with our breath work. So for your inhale, clasp your palms and bring your hands up the center line of your body. Exhale, flip the hands and push down. Find that resistance. 2 more like this. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, back down. Last one, inhale to lift, and exhale, back down. Release the hands and inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, pushing down. 2 more like this. Inhale, really sweep the arms up. Make yourself as tall as you can. Exhale, back down. Last one, bringing in all that beautiful oxygen. And exhale, back down. You'll find yourself in mountain pose or Tadasana. This is the base of all of your standing postures. For this, you want to find about 2 fists, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, between your feet. And this is the most stable position. This is what we will return to throughout the practice. From here, take an inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. We're going to move into our sun salutations. I'll turn so that you can see me. Exhale, take a forward fold, so hinge at your hip. You can allow a gentle bend in your knee as well if your hamstrings aren't as long. And then inhale, take a halfway lift. So back nice and straight, hands on your shin or upper thigh, and then just exhale, back down. On your next inhale, rise up, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms to touch to come through heart center. That is the sun salutation, but in a halfway form. So we'll take it all the way, but we'll do one more half sun salutation. So inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, take that halfway lift, back nice and straight. And then exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. You can do this sun salutation on your chair as well. So when you fold, you simply fold over your legs, and then you inhale and rise back up while keeping your hips connected to the chair. We're now going to add to that sun salutation, so follow along with the cues. Those of you on your chair, just continue with the half sun salutation. So inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, take that forward fold. Inhale to take your halfway lift, back nice and straight. Exhale, fold forward. Take an inhale, and on your next exhale, bend at the knees, plant your palms, and step back into a plank pose. For your plank, you want to be nice and strong through your core. You want there to be a nice line from the back of your head all the way down to the back of your feet. If you're piking up, then bring your hips down slightly. And if you're too low, then lift a little bit to protect your low back. We'll be here for 3 breaths, so build that endurance. If you need to, you can drop your knees, or you can always come onto your forearms if your wrists are a little bit sore. One more breath here in your plank. On your exhale, tuck your elbows close to your side, look forward over your mat, and lower down. This is like a yoga push-up. Settle here, and on your next inhale, keeping your legs connected to the mat, your pelvis connected to the mat, activate your core, activate your back, activate your glutes, and inhale to rise into a cobra pose, Bhujangasana, and exhale back down. We'll do 2 more to work on our form. Inhale, peel your chest up and off the mat. Here we'll test ourselves, so lift your hands up and off the mat. So this is not a push up. Don't use momentum, but use your musculature. And exhale back down. Last cobra. Inhale, peel your chest up and off the mat, keeping legs and pelvis connected. And exhale back down. From here, tucking your toes, lift up through hands and knees, and then lift your hips up to the sky into a down dog. And just breathe here, finding some stillness. In your down dog, if your wrists are sore, you can always take a dolphin pose. So that is on your forearms. On your next breath, allow a deep bend in your knees. Come onto your tiptoes, step 1 foot forward and then the other. And you'll find yourself in a forward fold position. Micro bend in the knees and inhale to rise, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. We'll do that 1 more time, so a full sun salutation. Inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, take that forward fold. Inhale to take your halfway lift back nice and straight. Exhale, now place your hands on the mat, step back to plank. And hold here, 3 breaths, building some strength. If you're on your chair, just continue the sun salutations, the half form. Really fire up your core, build that heat, tuck your elbows close to your side, look over your mat, roll over your toes, and lower. Inhale, peel your chest up and off the mat, cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, push back into down dog. So hips nice and high, piped up, like an inverted V shape. From here, deep bend in the knees, onto your tiptoes, step one foot forward and then the other. Inhale to rise, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're back in our mountain pose. If you need to take a sip of water, do that. And we're just going to continue to flow. So inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips and take a forward fold. Take an inhale, and on your next exhale, send your right leg back and allow the knee to drop onto the mat. From here, inhale and sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, place the hands at either side of your foot. From here, start to send your hips back and flex that left foot. This is half split or Ardha Hanumanasana. If you are working towards a split, maybe you are, this is a really good gateway pose. And then inhale, send your hips back forward, move your hands forward, and come into a lunge position. And then again on your exhale, sending your hips back, walking your hands back into that half split. One more flow, move your hands forward, lunging forward. And then exhale, sending the hips back. From here, moving back forward, getting a steady stance with your hands, send that left foot back, and we'll do this on the right side. So bring your right foot forward. May take a bit of adjustment to get there. And then we're going to do the same sequence. So as you exhale, sending your hips back, allowing the foot to lift, Ardha Hanumanasana. And then inhale, moving forward into a lunge. Exhale, sending the hips back, finding that space in your legs. And then inhale, back forward. Last one here, exhale to send the hips back, flexing the foot, protect your joints. And then inhale, back to the front. From here, now sending that right leg back, you'll find yourself in a tabletop position. From your tabletop position, we're going to continue to build some strength here. So lifting your right leg and sending it nice and long behind you. This might be enough, so you can hold here. If you like and want to take it one step further, find your balance and then lift your left hand up and off the mat. And find a nice long line from your left thumb all the way to the back of your right foot. 2 breaths. And then plant your left hand, bring the right leg back down, and sit your hips back into a child's pose. Find some release here. And then inhale. Right back to the tabletop position. We'll now take it to the left side. So pick your left leg up and off the mat, send it back, nice and long. This might be enough, or if you want, then you can find that balance. Pick your right hand up and off the mat, extending it nice and long in front of you. 2 breaths here. Really activate your core and use your breath here. Nice job. Hand back, leg back. Take your child's pose. Send the hips back. Extend the arms in front of you nice and long, palms on the mat. And then from here, rising back up into tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up to the sky into your down dog. From here, bend in the knees onto your tiptoes. Step 1 foot forward and then the other. Inhale to rise, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. From here, if you are still on your chair, you can follow along to this part. This is a standing sequence. So inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take that forward fold. Pause here, and on your next exhale, bending in the knees, step your right leg back. Now pivot your right leg so that it is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Once you find that, almost a T-junction between your left foot and your back right foot, windmill your arms up and overhead, coming into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So really reaching nice and long. Here, it's very common for the knee to track in. So really try to keep that knee pointing forward. And then find the back foot and push on the outer edge of that back foot. Once you feel confident and balanced, extend your arms nice and long. On your inhale, straighten that front leg and lift the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, come back into Warrior 2, so bending that left knee. And again, inhale to rise, bringing the arms up and overhead. And exhale, back into Warrior 2. Last one, inhale, straighten that left leg. And exhale, coming back into Warrior 2. We'll be here for 2 breaths, building some strength. Really good. And then from here, turn that left foot now so that you're parallel to the short edge of your mat. From here, you're going to take a forward fold. So I'll turn so you can see me. So take a forward fold, so folding over your legs, finding a nice hamstring stretch. Here, you may be able to touch the ground, you may not, it doesn't matter. You just want to find some space in the back line of your body. So allow a little micro bend in your knees. Maybe you need a bigger bend. From here, start to shift your weight over to the right side. So coming into a side lunge, just a gentle, subtle movement. And then exhale back to center. And then inhale, shift your weight over towards the left, finding that lunge. And then inhale back to center. From here, bending at the knees, rising back up. From here, heel toe your feet in towards each other. Once you feel stable, you can move to the front of your mat. We're going to take this to the other side. So inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale to take that forward fold. Take an inhale and pause. And now send your left leg back and pivot that left leg so that it is parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then inhale, windmilling your arms up, coming into your Warrior 2 position. For this Warrior 2, again, keeping aware of where your knee is. It should be facing forward. Keeping aware of where your hips are. If they're tilting back, shift them forward slightly. So tuck your pelvis in. And then settle into the pose. So extend your arms nice and long. This is where we build that strength. There's a saying in yoga, Sthira Sukham Asanam. And that means strength, sweetness or softness, and asanam, which is pose. Inhale, straighten the right leg, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swing back into your Warrior 2. Inhale to rise, straightening the right leg, and exhale, coming into your Warrior 2. One more, inhale to rise, and exhale, winging the arms back out. We'll take 2 breaths, settle here, building that sthira or strength. And then from here, again, turning the right foot now, so you're straddling the long edge of your mat, and then simply exhale to fold forward. From here, inhale, rising back up, heel toe your feet in towards each other, and then step forward to the front of your mat. From here, inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale to take that halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. From here, bending at the knees, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, and lower down to the mat, chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes and send your hips back into child's pose. Take a breath here. Now find a seat on the mat. So sitting nice and tall. So you might need to flip over, do some adjustments. Once you find your hips on the mat, start to lower down. So you'll be laying down on the mat now. One vertebra at a time, using that core to stabilize you. From here, take a breath. And then lift your right leg up to the sky. Fold that right leg over that bent left leg. You can hang here, or if you want, you can lift your left leg up and off the mat. If it helps, you can also balance those feet on a chair, if that is what you choose. And then take your hands and thread them through your legs and gently pull on that shin or the back thigh. And then let that left leg go, uncross the right from the left, and then lift the left leg up to the sky. Cross that left leg, opening up through the hips. And then if you want, pick your right leg up and off the mat, and then thread your hands through. So pulling on that shin or the back thigh, whatever works for you. And then let that right leg go, uncross the left from the right. From here, finding your bridge pose. So really connecting your hands to the mat, your shoulders to the mat, and your feet. And then on your inhale, lift your hips up and off the mat. Use your core, your glutes, and your legs. Just 2 breaths here. And then gently lower your hips back down to the mat. You can bring your knees over to one side and the other. We call this windshield wipering your legs, just to find a release in the low back. And then again, planting the feet, finding that stability, keeping your shoulders connected to the mat. Lift your hips slightly and shift them to the left side, and then allow the knees to drop towards the right side. This is a gentle twist. You can bring your hands outstretched or into a cactus pose if you have the space. One more nice sweet breath here. And then inhale, contract the core, bringing the knees back up, reset the hips in neutral, and then we'll take it to the other side. So gentle lift in the hips, send them slightly towards the right now, and allow the knees to drop over towards the left side, finding a nice supine stretch or twist. 2 breaths here. Really enjoy this. And then contract through the core, bring the knees back to the center and reset the hips. We'll move into a happy baby pose. So for that, bringing your feet up to the sky, soles facing up, and then using your hands and grabbing onto the outer edge of your feet. You may only be able to reach the back of your thighs. That's completely fine. The goal here is just to find some release in the low back, and you can rock side to side, gently massaging your back. Really nice. And then from here, bringing your legs back down to the mat. Extending your legs nice and long, facing your hands up to the sky. This is our Shavasana pose, where we find integration of everything we've done today. Allow your fingertips to relax, your wrists, your shoulders, your neck, your head, belly, hips, knees, and feet. If you want, you can stay here for a few more breaths if you have the time. If not, start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Take your arms up and overhead, nice big stretch. And then in your own time, roll over to one side and lift back up into a seated position. If you want to stay on the mat, again, that's your decision. Close your eyes and bring your hands to heart center. Happy is the man who avoids conflict, but how fine is the man who is afflicted and shows endurance. We'll close with a big breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms to touch, and bring your hands through heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of the day and the rest of the evening. We do have a survey for you, so if you're okay to fill that out, that would be great. So you will be getting the link for that. And wishing you all a wonderful evening. Bye.